Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you my process for painting a pet portrait in acrylic. Here's the list of materials I'll be using this week. Today I'm painting on stretch canvas straight out of the packet. I traced my reference photo on the canvas using watercolor pencil. It's very important when you're doing portraits to have an accurate drawing. If your drawing isn't accurate, you're going to have a lot of problems rendering your subject. And I can already hear people say, "Oh my god, he traced the subject? Oh dear, you're not supposed to trace, David. No, you're only supposed to freehand because artists are not supposed to trace. Tracing is cheating." Listen guys, I have a full-time job. I don't have a lot of time to paint. So I'm gonna take every shortcut I can to make the process easier and to be able to deliver my projects in time. And actually, that's a great topic for discussion. I want to know, do you think it's okay for artists to trace? Do you think it's cheating? Do you think artists should only freehand? Or do you think artists should use every possible resource they have to be able to finish their work in time? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so while voiceover David has been rambling, camera David is busy rendering his subject in grayscale. I like to do grayscale underpaintings for portraits because it allows me to focus on my values and getting those values as accurate as I can. Value is probably the most important element in painting. If your values aren't right, meaning if your darks aren't dark enough and if your lights aren't light enough, your painting is not going to work, especially when you're rendering something in a realistic style. The first thing I did when I started my grayscale underpainting was go to my absolute darkest values first. That helps me judge all the other values against the white of the canvas. And even though I'm trying to pay attention and stay true to the values in my photo, this is just the first pass. My goal is basically to cover the entire canvas with paint. I can always go back and adjust values once I have everything covered in paint. So my original idea for the background was to have a bunch of circles and kind of try to make a bokeh effect. But as you'll see later in the painting, that really didn't work. So all those circles are gonna get covered eventually. And once I cover the entire canvas with paint, that's the end of my first painting session for this portrait. This is the second day of painting. I'm taking a synthetic sponge and lightening up the upper area of my background. I'm also doing a second pass on the dog, making sure that the values that I laid on my first day work and making any adjustments before I start colorizing. And I'm starting to colorize. I'm coming in with my burnt sienna for the darker parts of the dog's fur. And now I'm going over my darks and my shadows with Anthraquinone Blue. And Anthraquinone Blue is becoming my favorite blue by far. It has a lot of tinting strength, like phthalo, but it's not as overpowering. It's a lot easier to control. It's great for rendering shadows, and it works very well with quinacridone magenta. You can get some really beautiful purples with it. You can also make very nice greens with it. So overall, it's a really versatile color. It goes by different names depending on the brand. I've heard it called Indanthrine Blue or Fiance Blue or Indian Blue. So if you're interested in buying it, just make sure you check the tube of your paint for pigment PB60. And I'm coming in with yellow ochre and a lot of titanium white for all the white parts of the dog's fur. I'm later going to go in with pure titanium white for the absolute lightest parts of her fur. I'm also using the yellow ochre and white mix for some parts to highlight some of the darker parts of her fur. The background was a little too flat for me, so I'm adding some darker values towards the bottom and working on a gradient towards the top. I'm using a natural sponge for the effects on the background, and then I'm going to come over it with a synthetic sponge to smooth any rough edges or splotches that I don't like. I paint with sponges a lot. They're definitely one of my must-have items when I paint in acrylic. I can create very soft and smooth glows. I can lighten areas in a painting, darken areas in a painting very effectively, and they're great for creating blurred backgrounds. And the dog has a pink color, so I'm going to use Alizarin Crimson with white for that, and I'm also going to try and cross-bleed the Alizarin Crimson in other sections of the painting and in other parts of the dog's fur. If you want to follow me on social media, links to my Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are going to be in the description box below. And the portrait is starting to come together. All I have to do at this stage is refine some details and add colors to the background, and I'll be done. I won't be making prints of this one because it's a personal painting. I also don't make prints of commission work. I only sell prints of my original work. If you're interested in checking that out, the link to my Fine Art America is in the description box below. Don't forget to like this video. It lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. And this is the finished product. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I have new art videos every Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. I'm David Cavallin, and I'll see you guys next time.